Okay, so here we are inside the tape recorder. The mains comes in here, goes into a switch here. The earth is connected to the chassis, so that's good. The live comes in and the negative comes in, and I'm going to guess that that's your outputs there. So you've got two purple wires which go... Okay, so I started stripping it down, but then realised what the hell's going on here. Yes. Okay, so the purple wire's the primary for the transformer. Secondary AC output goes across this bridge rectifier, which is great. But then these two big thick cables that are coming out here, these are of course for the valve heaters, which will be low voltage, high current, hence the quite chunky cables that come out the side. Okay, so the rectified live output goes to this big smoothing capacitor here. And then what happens? Okay, so I've just checked, and it would appear that the DC coming out of there is at 320 volts, which would suggest to me that this transformer only actually provides power for the valve heaters. I think the rest of the machine just runs basically off the 320 volt line, which is the issue with valve gear. It tends to run quite high voltages, making them dangerous. Right, a bit more investigating. Okay, so I've established that the valve heaters run at 6 volts AC, which from memory I think is about right. Okay, so that's what I think that does. That's what that does. Right, now the issue is that when the machine gets hot, that the volume is decreasing. Now it could be these valves, but I don't want to go down that route just yet because they're potentially very expensive and possibly not even available. So the next port of call will be electrolytic capacitors. I'm assuming this big smoothing capacitor is working fine because there's no buzzing on the output line. It's purely intensity, especially when recording. Okay, so what have we got in the way of electrolytic capacitors in here? Oh, I don't know what that is, but that doesn't look at all well, does it? Okay, so my meter is trying to tell me that this capacitor is somewhere around the 200 nanofarad range, and according to the spec it should be 2200, but regardless, I mean, that is an absolute mess, isn't it? I mean, that is, yeah, that's not clever. So I'm going to replace that. So whereabouts was it in the circuit then? Well, that'll be the speaker transformer. I'm going to guess this is the output for that. I'm going to guess that this is a transformer that produces the correct voltage to drive the recording head. The way I've seen other cassette recorders work is there's basically only one amplifier path, and when it's playing it connects the input to the head and the output to the speaker, and then when it's recording it connects the microphone to the input and the output to the recording head. But I'm guessing that it's a slightly different power and impedance, and that's why that little transformer sits in there. So I'll replace that. So that's one. Okay, what else have we got here? That's got a little bit of marking on it. Don't quite understand even what that component is. Is it a diode? Is it a capacitor? Don't know. Doesn't seem any writing on it. Okay, what are these valves then? Let's have a look. Is any writing on them? ECL, got that much on that one. This one, upside down, but ECC 83. And then we've got this one down here. Can't make what that is either. That capacitor's got a dent in it. Don't know. Yeah, I'll get this capacitor for now and then worry about the rest of it later. Okay, so I've taken some photographs of the valves now. So I now know what that valve that is, or that valve there is. Right, this is the valve, by the way, that's also the meter on the front, the little green fluorescent display thing. Right, okay then. Until next time. Okay, I'm about to try something world-class stupid here. Even though I've got a component missing, I'm going to try and power it up just to see what effect that component might have had to the output intensity. Here it goes. Right, I'm going to try and do a test recording. Let's have a look. How does this work? Oh, there we go. Right, let's do a test recording. So I'm going to set the recording volume to fairly high. I'm going to put it all the way up. Put it to record mode, and then see what happens when I try and talk into the machine and make a recording. So testing 1 2 3. Test. Can we get louder perhaps? Test 1 2 3. I'm now holding the microphone about 3 inches away from my mouth, and I'm speaking normally, and I'm getting indications on the display that something's getting recorded, I think. So just to confirm, the 1st of July 2022 test recording of the ELPICO TR500. Phone about 3 inches away from my mouth, and I'm speaking normally, and I'm getting indications on the display that something's getting recorded, I think. So just to confirm, the 1st of July 2022 test recording of the ELPICO TR500. And that is the best that's ever worked. So, new one of these.